If you checked your bank account right now, would you feel relieved or stressed? Maybe it's Tuesday. You've got $312 in your account, payday is Friday, bills are coming due, and despite making decent money last year, it feels like you're getting nowhere. You're not reckless. You're not wasting money. You're doing everything people told you to do. So why does it still feel like you're stuck? Here's the truth. Wealth doesn't grow in a straight line. It happens in milestones. For a long time, nothing seems to change. Then suddenly, everything does. Your stress drops, your options expand, your money starts working for you. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 net worth milestones that change everything, and why reaching each one can completely transform your financial life. My name is Lewis, and I spend way too much time thinking about net worth benchmarks, compound interest, and the weird psychological games our brains play with money. If you're someone who feels like you're working hard, doing the right things, but can't figure out why your financial life still feels like you're running on a treadmill, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out.
Look, I want to challenge something right off the bat. Most personal finance content out there obsesses over income. Make 6 figures. Start a side hustle. Here's how I made $10K last month. And income matters, don't get me wrong. But income is not wealth.
According to data from the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, roughly 36% of households earning over $100,000 a year report living paycheck to paycheck. Think about that. More than 1 in 3 high earners is one missed paycheck away from chaos.
So if income alone solved the problem, those people would be fine. They're not. Because the actual game isn't how much you make, it's how much you keep, and what that money does for you while you sleep. That's net worth. And net worth has milestones that operate almost like checkpoints in your financial life. Let's get into them. The first milestone is hitting a $10,000 net worth. And I know, I can already hear some of you. Luis, 10K? That's not life-changing money. Here's what most people don't realize. It's not about the dollar amount. It's about what crossing that threshold does to your brain and your life. According to a Bankrate survey from late 2024, only 44% of Americans could cover a $1,000 emergency from savings. Less than half. So when you hit $10,000 in net worth, meaning your assets minus your debts equals positive 10 grand, you've already moved into a category that the majority of the country never reaches. Here's the math on why this milestone matters so much. Let's say your car breaks down, transmission's gone. That's a $4,000 repair. For someone with $312 in their account, that's a catastrophe. It goes on a credit card at 24% APR. And now they're paying $80 a month in interest alone, which means less savings, which means the next emergency hits even harder. This is the debt spiral, and it traps tens of millions of Americans. But for someone with $10,000, that same transmission is annoying. It's not a crisis. They pay it, their net worth drops to $6,000, and they rebuild. No interest, no spiral. No 3 a.m. panic attacks. This is what I call the stability milestone. And the psychological shift is bigger than the financial one. Researchers at Princeton, Mulanathan and Shafir, published work showing that financial scarcity literally reduces cognitive bandwidth. People under financial stress score the equivalent of 13 IQ points lower on problem-solving tasks. 13 points! That's the difference between being below average and being above average, caused entirely by money stress. So when you hit 10K, you're not just buying a buffer. You're buying your brain back. You start making better decisions at work.
You negotiate harder. You don't panic accept the first job offer. You don't stay in a bad relationship because you can't afford rent on your own. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Lewis, how do I actually get to 10K? Here's the playbook. If you're starting from zero, you need to save roughly $400 a month for 2 years. That's $13 a day. I know that sounds like nothing and everything at the same time, depending on your situation. So let's break it down further. Audit 3 categories: subscriptions, food delivery, and convenience purchases. The average American spends $219 a month on subscriptions they forgot they had, according to a 2024 C+R research study. DoorDash and Uber Eats users average $40 per order, while the same meal cooked at home costs $6. Cut those 2 things alone, and you found $300 a month without touching your lifestyle in any meaningful way. Put that money into a high-yield savings account, earning around 4 to 5%. Automate the transfer the day after payday, before you see the money, and you're on your way. The automation piece isn't optional. It's the whole game. Your willpower will fail. Automation won't. All right, milestone number 2. This one's the big one. The first $100,000. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, one of the greatest investors who ever lived, once said, and I'm paraphrasing here, the first $100,000 is you've got to do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. After that, you can ease off the gas a little. Here's the math, and this is where it gets really interesting. Let's say you're investing in a broad market index fund, earning a historical average of about 8% annually after inflation. If you have $10,000 invested, that earns you $800 a year. Cool. Nice. Doesn't change your life. But $100,000 invested at 8%? That's $8,000 a year. Roughly $667 a month in passive growth. That's a car payment, a grocery bill, a decent chunk of rent being paid to you by money you already have. You didn't earn $8,000. Your past self did. And here's the part that breaks people's brains. To go from $0 to $100,000 takes most people somewhere between 7 and 10 years, if they're saving aggressively. But to go from $100,000 to $200,000, that takes about 5 years. From $200,000 to $300,000, around 3 to 4 years. The acceleration is real, and it's because compound interest stops being a buzzword and starts being a coworker. This is the Momentum Milestone. Before 100K, you are the engine of your wealth. After 100K, your money starts pulling its weight. The needle finally moves on its own. Here's what most people don't realize about this milestone, though. The psychological challenge is the hardest part. For 7, 8, 9 years, you're saving and investing and watching the market dip and recover and dip again, and it feels like nothing is happening. The Federal Reserve's data shows the median net worth for Americans under 35 is around $39,000. Most people quit before they ever experience compounding. They cash out their 401k when they switch jobs. They raid their investments for a wedding. They stop contributing because it's not making a difference anyway. So how do you get there? 3 things. First, max out your tax-advantaged accounts. A 401k match is a 100% return on your money, instantly. And roughly 25% of employees who have access to one don't contribute enough to get the full match, according to Vanguard's How America Saves report. That's free money you are turning down. Second, invest in low-cost, broad market index funds. The boring answer is the right answer. If you put $500 a month into an S&P 500 index fund averaging 8% returns, you hit $100,000 in about 11 years. Bump it to $800 a month, and you hit it in about 8 years. Bump it to $1,200 a month, you're there in just over 6. Third, and this is the one nobody talks about, increase your income. You cannot save your way to $100,000 on $35,000 a year while paying rent in a major city. At some point, you have to grow the top of the funnel. Negotiate raises. Switch jobs every 2 to 3 years. The Bureau of Labor Statistics found that job switchers see wage growth roughly 30 to 50% higher than people who stay put. Loyalty to a company is rarely rewarded financially. I'm not saying job hop recklessly, but I am saying your salary is the single biggest lever you have during this phase. Now, milestone 3. This is the one that changes everything in a way that's genuinely hard to describe until you experience it. I call it the freedom number. And for most people, it lands somewhere around $500,000 invested. Here's why. Financial researchers use something called the 4% rule, originally developed from the Trinity study in the late 1990s. The rough idea is that if you withdraw 4% of your invested portfolio per year, your money has a very high probability of lasting 30 plus years, even accounting for market downturns and inflation. So at $500,000 invested, 4% is $20,000 a year, about $1,667 a month, in sustainable, theoretically perpetual income. That's not enough to fully retire on for most people, but, and this is the key, it's enough that you've crossed into what I call optionality. This is where it gets really interesting. At $500K, you don't have to work the job you hate. You don't have to tolerate the toxic boss. You can take a 30% pay cut to do work you actually enjoy. And your investments quietly cover the gap. You can take a 6-month sabbatical. You can start a business and survive the lean years. You can say no. Saying no is the most underrated financial superpower on the planet. Most people stay in jobs, relationships, and cities they hate because they literally cannot afford to leave. At $500,000, that constraint disappears. You're not rich. You're free. And those are very, very different things. The psychological shift here is profound. A 2023 study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that financial security, not income, but security, was one of the strongest predictors of life satisfaction, more powerful than marriage, geography, or even physical health for many participants. Money doesn't buy happiness, but financial security buys the absence of a very specific kind of misery, and that absence creates room for happiness to actually grow. Getting to $500K from $100K, by the way, takes about 9 to 11 years if you keep investing $800 a month at 8%. If you're aggressive and push to $1,500 a month, you can get there in 7 to 8. The math is not magic. It's just patience plus consistency plus time. So here's your homework. Today, not tomorrow, today. 1. Calculate your actual net worth right now. Assets minus liabilities. Write it down. You cannot improve a number you refuse to look at. Number 2. Identify which milestone you're working toward. If you're under 10K, your only job is building stability. Don't worry about index funds yet. Build the cash buffer first. If you're between 10K and 100K, every dollar of disposable income should be hitting tax-advantaged investment accounts. If you're past 100K, your job is to not blow it up. Stay invested. Don't panic sell. Let the bamboo grow. 3. Automate everything. Your savings, your investments, your bill payments. Take your willpower out of the equation entirely. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Most people watching this video will close it, feel motivated for about 48 hours, and then change absolutely nothing. They'll be in the exact same financial position next year as they are right now. Don't be that person. The difference between the people who hit these milestones and the people who don't isn't intelligence. It isn't even income. It's the willingness to start and the patience to keep going when nothing seems to be happening.
You are closer to $10,000 than you think. You are closer to $100,000 than you think. And $500,000, true financial freedom, is not reserved for tech founders and trust fund kids. It's reserved for people who decided on a random Tuesday to stop running in place.
If this video helped you see your money differently, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment telling me which milestone you're working toward. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next video.